Tariq walked down the metal hallway of Nurat 12, a giant space station where humans and aliens lived and worked together. The lights above flickered softly, and machines hummed in the background. He wore a plain brown jumpsuit, his toolbox hanging from his side. Today was another normal day for him, fixing pipes, repairing wires, cleaning filters. Nothing exciting, nothing different. He passed by a group of aliens talking in their soft, musical voices. Most humans did not mix with them. Some were afraid, and some just didn't care. But Tariq was different. He often watched from a distance. He didn't judge them, he was just curious. That was when he saw her. She stood alone near the water garden in the center dome. Her tall body glowed slightly in the blue light. Her skin looked like silver dust on soft stone. She wore a long robe with thin silver lines that moved like flowing water. Her eyes bright and calm looked up at the stars painted on the dome ceiling. Tariq stopped. He had seen many aliens before, but something about this one felt different. Maybe it was the way she stood, peaceful and still, or maybe it was the sadness in her eyes. Suddenly she turned and saw him. For a moment, their eyes met. Tariq looked away quickly and pretended to check his toolbox. Then he heard her voice. Soft, clear, and kind. "You are the human who saved the child during the fire." Tariq looked up, surprised. "Yes," he said, "but it was nothing. Anyone would have done it." The alien woman stepped closer. "Not anyone, most ran away. You ran into the smoke." Tariq felt shy. He nodded and said, "I'm just a repair worker." She tilted her head slightly, watching him. "I am Jira," she said. "From the Valeri people." "I'm Tariq," he replied. There was silence for a few seconds. Tariq felt his heart beat faster. He had never spoken this long with an alien before, especially not one like her. Are you new here?" he asked. "I came 2 moons ago," she said. "I study old machines." "Your station is full of forgotten things." Tariq smiled. "Yes, Nurat 12 is full of junk. I know every corner. If you ever need help." He paused. Should he say it? It sounded crazy in his mind, but he felt he had to ask. Just once. "Would you like to have tea sometime?" "Just tea, to talk." Jara looked at him for a long moment. Her bright eyes did not blink. Her face showed no anger, no shock, just deep thought. Tariq's heart sank. Maybe he was stupid to ask that. Then she spoke, gently. "You are the first human to offer me a moment, not a favor." Tariq blinked. "What do you mean? Most humans ask for trade, or power, or questions answered. You asked for time."
"What?"
Tariq said, rubbing the back of his neck. "I just thought it might be nice." Jera gave a small smile, the first he had seen from her. It was calm, like a quiet breeze. "I accept," she said. The next day they met again, this time in a small garden room near the station's outer edge. A few people came here, and it was quiet. Fake grass covered the floor, and small flowers glowed in the corners. A small tea machine stood in the center, old but still working. Tariq brought 2 cups and poured warm tea into them. "I hope you like it," he said. "It's from Earth. Sweet and light." Jera took the cup, looked at it carefully, then took a small sip. "It is different, but pleasant." They sat across from each other, listening to the hum of machines around them. At first, there was silence. Then Jera spoke. "Where I come from, tea is a sacred thing. It is shared only with those who carry no lies in their heart." Tariq smiled. "I'll try to be honest then." Jera looked at him with calm eyes. "Why did you ask me for tea?" Tariq thought for a moment. "I guess I'm tired of fixing broken things, machines, wires, leaks. I wanted to talk to someone who wasn't like everyone else." Jera nodded slowly. "I understand. I, too, feel alone, even among my people." "Why?" Tariq asked. "Because I think like you. I ask too many questions. I feel too much. The others say I am too soft." Tariq laughed softly. "That sounds like me. People say I dream too much for a repair worker." Jera reached into her robe and pulled out a small, glowing stone. It was smooth, round, and pulsing with soft blue light. "This is a Valeri," she said. "It reacts to truth and emotion. It is a guide." She handed it to Tariq. He touched it, and the glow grew brighter. "You gave me a moment," Jera said. "Now I give you a path." Tariq held the stone in his hand. He didn't know what it meant, but he felt a strange warmth in his chest. "Thank you," he said. Era stood up. "Our time is over for now, but we will meet again. The stone will show you when." She walked away, her robe flowing behind her like water. Tariq sat there, holding the glowing stone, wondering what had just begun. In a space station full of machines and silence, something had changed, and Tariq knew this was not just tea. This was the start of something bigger. The next few days, On Nora 12 felt different for Tariq. The glowing heartstone Jera gave him stayed in his pocket, warm and gentle like a living thing. Every time he touched it, it reminded him of their talk, their tea, and her quiet smile. Tariq kept working, leaking vents, changing broken wires, but his mind often returned to Jera's words. You gave me a moment, I give you a path. What did she mean by a path? And why did the stone glow brighter when he held it? 2 days later, as he walked past the garden dome again, he heard a voice call his name. Tariq. It was Hajira. She stood by the small water fountain, her silver-lined robe shining in the soft light. He felt a small rush in his chest. I'm glad to see you, he said. I have thought about our tea, Jera said, and your words. They walked together through the quiet dome. Jera led him to a bench near a cluster of glowing blue flowers. She sat down, and Tariq sat beside her. You're kind, she said softly, speaks much, but listens little. But you listen. Tariq smiled a little. I don't always know what to say, so I listen. Jera looked at him. Good, then listen now. She took a deep breath and began to speak. Jera told him about her world, Valeria Greenworld, of forests and floating cities. Their emotions were seen as power, not weakness. Valeri people believed that feelings had energy. Love, fear, hope, all were sacred forces. She said that long ago, before humans disappeared into deep space, the Valeri had worked with humans on peaceful missions. But one day, without reason, the humans stopped coming. The alliance faded. The stories became myths. I was taught that humans were greedy, Jera said, always wanting, never giving. But now, I wonder if the stories were wrong. Tariq looked down at the heartstone in his hand. You think they lied? Not lead, she said, but maybe they forgot. Maybe they wanted to forget. Jera turned her eyes to the dome ceiling, where fake stars glowed faintly. I came to Nara 12 for old knowledge, but maybe I found something more important. What? Tariq asked. They sat in silence for a moment. The only sound was the soft bubbling of the water fountain nearby. Tariq spoke slowly. I've always wanted to be more than just a repair worker. I wanted to matter. I wanted someone to see me not for what I fix, but for who I am. Jera nodded. You matter. The stone shows it. Tariq looked at the heartstone again. It pulsed brighter now, glowing softly in the dim light. Why does it glow when I touch it? He asked. It reacts to truth, she replied. It senses the heart. Yours is open. Tariq smiled, but then his smile faded. Do you think people would understand, you and me, a human and a Valeri sitting together like this? Jera looked calm. Some would fear, some would hate, but those with true eyes will see. Tariq nodded slowly. Then I'll stay true. Later, Tariq went back to his small room in the lower level of the station. It was quiet, with a single window looking out into space. He placed the heartstone on the table, and it lit the room with a soft blue light. He stared at it for a long time. Then, something strange happened. Symbols appeared on the surface of the stone, small glowing marks. Like writing, they moved slowly, changing and shifting. Tariq leaned closer. He didn't recognize the language, but he felt something in his mind, like a picture forming. He saw an image in his thoughts, a door hidden behind old pipes and wires deep in the station, a place he had never seen before. What is this? He whispered. The next day, he showed the glowing symbols to his friend Nilo, who worked in the language lab. Do you know what this means? Tariq asked. Nilo scratched his head. It's not human writing, not Valeri either. Never seen anything like this. Tariq nodded. Thanks anyway. He didn't tell Nilo about the vision in his mind. Not yet. That evening, Tariq met Jera again. They sat in the garden dome, sharing tea once more. This time, Jera brought a different blend of herb tea, which smelled like rain and fire mixed together. Tariq told her about the glowing symbols and the door he saw in his thoughts. Jera's eyes widened. That cannot be, she said. Heartstones do not show visions to others, only to Valeri, unless... Unless what? Tariq asked. Unless the one holding it is chosen. Tariq laughed nervously. Chosen for what? Jera stood slowly. Come, we must follow the vision. They walked through quiet halls, down to a level of the station no one used anymore. The lights were dim, and old metal doors lined the walls. Pipes hissed softly above them. Tariq led the way, his hand holding the heartstone. The glow became brighter with every step. Finally, they reached a corner behind a rusted panel. Tariq pulled it aside and saw an old door covered in dust and wires. This is it, he whispered. Ira placed her hand on the door. This chamber was built long ago, before your time, before mine. Tariq pressed the heartstone to the panel. Beside the door, the symbols on the stone glowed, and then the door slowly opened. A rush of cold air blew past them. Inside was darkness, silence, and mystery. They stepped in together. In that moment, Tariq understood something deep inside him. He had asked for tea. He had wanted a quiet moment. But Jera had given him a future, and the Heartstone had shown him a forgotten path that would change not just his life, but maybe everything. The old door opened slowly, making a low metal sound. A thin layer of dust floated in the air. Tariq held the glowing Heartstone in one hand. Jera stood beside him, quiet and calm. Inside the room, the air was cold and still. The lights were very dim, but the stone in Tariq's hand gave off enough glow to see. There were metal walls, old machines, and strange carvings. The machines looked human, but not like the ones used on the station today. Some were half broken, and wires hung from the ceiling. It looked like no one had entered this place in many years. Tariq stepped in first. The ground felt soft with dust under his boots. Jera followed, her eyes scanning the room slowly. This place, it is not design, she said softly. No, Tariq replied. It looks human, but very old. They walked to the center of the room. A large table made of dark glass stood there. On it, a circular device with many buttons rested quietly. There was also a screen above the table, covered in dirt. Tariq touched the screen gently. Nothing happened. Then he placed the hut on the table. Suddenly, the room came to life. The screen lit up and the machines around them hummed softly. The carvings on the wall began to glow with soft blue lines. Jera stepped back, her eyes wide. This place was waiting. The screen showed the face of an old human man. His voice played, soft and calm. If you are hearing this, then the link has been restored. I am Commander Amin Darzi. This was once the Unity Chamber, where humans and Valeri worked together for peace. Tariq and Jera listened carefully. Many years ago we tried to build something beautiful here, a place of learning, sharing, and trust. But it was lost, betrayed. Jera's hands shook slightly. The Torcan Empire feared our friendship. They spread lies, caused attacks, and made both sides blame each other. We fell apart. The chamber was sealed to protect what was left. The screen went dark for a second, then more words appeared. If you found this place, you are the new hope. Rebuild the path we lost. Bring truth back. The message ended. For a long moment there was only silence. Jera spoke first. The Torcan, we were told humans turned away from peace, that you left us, that your kind could not be trusted, and we were told Valeri didn't care anymore, Tariq said. Both stood still, feeling the weight of the truth. Tariq looked at the carvings on the wall. They showed pictures humans and Valeri standing side by side, working on machines, sharing food, watching stars together. Jera touched one of the carvings gently. My people forgot this. Mine too, Tariq said. Or maybe someone wanted us to forget. Jera nodded slowly. The Torcan, they used lies to break us. Suddenly, a sound came from behind, a soft click. Then a red light flashed above the door. What's that? Tariq asked. Jera's eyes narrowed. Defense system. It thinks we are intruders. A small drone floated out of the ceiling. It had 3 blinking lights and a laser sensor. It moved quickly toward them. Back, Tariq shouted. The drone fired a warning shot. It hit the wall, making a loud bang. Sparks flew. Tariq pulled Jera behind the table. There must be a control switch. Jera looked around. There she pointed to a box near the side wall. Tariq rushed to it while the drone turned to follow. He ducked, rolled, and reached the panel. He opened it and pulled 3 wires, green, blue, and red. Which one? He asked. Jera shouted, blue. Tariq yanked the blue wire out. The drone paused. Then it dropped to the ground with a small crash. Silence returned. They both sat on the floor, breathing hard. You saved me, Jera said. You saved me too, Tariq replied. Jera smiled. You are not just kind, you are brave. Tariq gave a tired smile. I'm just lucky. No, she said. You are chosen. After they calmed down, they looked around the chamber again. Tariq opened a drawer near the table. Inside were old documents, a few data chips, and something wrapped in cloth. He unwrapped it slowly. Inside was a silver badge with a human and Valeri symbol joined together. This was the old peace mark, Jera whispered. Only trusted ones wore it. Tariq handed it to her. It belongs with your people. Jera held it in her hand. It belongs to both of us. They left the chamber and sealed it again, keeping the location secret. Back in the garden dome, they sat under the fake stars. What now? Tariq asked. We show others, Jera said. We bring truth back, but carefully. Many will not believe. They will if they see what we saw, Tariq replied. Jera looked at the hearts. It shows you. It showed you the way. Tariq looked at her, his voice soft. Maybe it brought me to you. Jera smiled, her silver eyes glowing softly. Then we walked this path together, and in that quiet moment, with stars above and truth between them, a bond began that no lie could ever break. Jera sat alone in her chamber, holding the old silver badge in her hand. The light from the ceiling above her was soft and warm, but her mind felt heavy. The images from the hidden Unity chamber stayed fresh in her thoughts. Humans and Valeri standing side by side, working together, smiling. That was the truth, but it was not what she had been taught. She looked at the badge again, a circle of silver with two shapes joined together, one human, one Valeri. This symbol had been forgotten by her people. Now, it was in her hand again. Suddenly, her door chimed, a soft beep. She stood up and opened the door. It was Tariq. He looked a little nervous, but his eyes were bright. He held the heartstone in one hand, which still glowed gently, as if it felt the truth between them. Jera, he said, I've been thinking. That chamber, it wasn't just a room. It was a message. We need to show others. Jera nodded. Slowly, yes, but we must be careful. Many will not want to hear this truth. We don't have to tell everyone, Tariq said. Just the ones who still believe in peace. Jera thought for a moment. There is someone, an elder of my people. She is wise and once served in the first contact missions. If she sees the chamber, she may help. Let's take her there, Tariq said. She has to see it with her own eyes. The next day, Jera met with Elder Relima, a tall Valeri woman, with silver hair and a voice like wind through trees. Her face showed age, but her eyes were sharp. Jera bowed with respect. Elder, I wish to speak with you about something. Lost. Relima looked at her with interest. You speak of old things, child. Many forget them. Why do you remember? Because I saw the truth, Jera said, with my own eyes. She told the elder about the Unity chamber, the message from Commander Amin, the carvings, the symbol, the drone, and the peace badge. She did not lie or hide anything. The elder listened in silence. When Jera finished, she spoke softly. I remember. That symbol, Relima said. Long ago, I wore it. Then it was taken from us. We were told humans turned away. They did not, Jera replied. The token broke the peace. The chamber proves it. Relima closed her eyes for a moment. Then she opened them slowly. Take me there. That evening, Jera and Tariq led Relima through the quiet halls of Nurat 12. They walked carefully, avoiding busy paths. When they reached the hidden door, Tariq placed the heartstone near the panel again. The door opened. With a soft sound, the air was still cold. The machines inside were silent, but the carvings still glowed faintly. Relima stepped inside slowly. Her eyes moved over every line, every picture. She placed her hand on the table. Then she touched one of the carvings of a Valeri woman standing beside a human man, both smiling. This is real, she whispered. I knew it, I felt it, even when others forgot. Jera stepped beside her. Will you help us? The elder turned. Yes, but it will not be easy. Back on the main level, the station was busy. News had come from deep space token ships, had been seen near a nearby moonbase. Many on the station grew afraid. The token were known for power, not peace. Tariq heard the news while working in the repair bay. His friend Nilo ran up to him. Tariq, did you hear? The token are coming. Tariq wiped sweat from his face. Yeah, I heard. They're not just passing by. They're watching us. You think there will be war? Tariq didn't answer. His thoughts went back to the Unity chamber. He felt the token might want to keep the truth hidden. Later that day, Jera called a private meeting of young Valeri thinkers. She and Relima spoke to them about what they had found. Some listened with open minds. Others doubted. This is old history. One young Valeri said. What does it matter now? It matters, Relima said firmly, because we are walking toward the same trap again, and only truth can save us. Tariq was also there. He stepped forward and showed the heartstone. This stone showed me a door, a message from a man long gone. He believed in you, in us. We cannot waste what he left behind. There was silence. Then, one Valeri, a quiet young woman, stood up. I believe, she said. Others began to nod. That night, Jera and Tariq sat together in the garden dome again. The stars above were fake, but they gave comfort. Jera looked up. I have spoken to the High Mind Council. They gave me a rare chance to speak before them, to show what I saw. That's good news, Tariq said. But there is risk, she said. If they do not believe, I may lose my post. I may be sent away. Tariq turned to her. Then let me stand with you. She looked at him, surprised. I'm not a leader, Tariq said, but I was there. I saw the truth. And maybe they will listen if a human speaks to justice. Eyes were soft. Thank you. Suddenly, a voice came through Tariq's comm device. Emergency alert. Torcan forces detected near Moonbase 7. All support requested. Station security is preparing defense teams. Tariq stood quickly. We have to help. Jera nodded. Yes, but not with weapons. With unity. Together, they rushed to the command level. Relima was already there, speaking with station leaders. This is not just an attack, she said. It is a warning. The Torcan fear the past we are about to uncover. Tariq stepped forward. Then we must show them that we're not afraid. A leader looked at Jira. Will the Valeri support us? Jira answered calmly. We already are. And so, a new light began to rise on Nara 12. The unity chamber was no longer forgotten, and the friendship between human and Valeri once broken was slowly being rebuilt. But the Torcan had returned, and the real test was just beginning. The lights across Nara 12 turned red. A soft voice echoed through every hall. Alert, Torcan ships approaching Moonbase 7. Prepare for emergency response. Tariq stopped in the middle of the hallway, his toolbox still in hand. His heart pounded. The name Torcan now meant more than just a distant threat. He had seen what they did in the past, how they broke the old peace between humans and Valeri. And now, they were back. Jira arrived at his side, calm but serious. They move quickly. The Torcan waste no time when they want control. Tariq looked at her. Do you think they know about the unity chamber? Jira nodded slowly. They feel the old truth returning. They fear it. Later that day, the Council of Nara 12 gathered in the large meeting hall. Leaders from Earth's colony ships, Valeri elders, and station officials all sat around a glowing table. On the screens above them, the Torcan fleet was shown, a group of dark, sharp-edged ships circling Moonbase 7. They say they're here for trade, one officer said. But why send battlecruisers for trade? They are not here for business, said Elder Relima, standing tall with her silver robe flowing behind her. They are here to silence the past. They fear what we found. A few council members shook their heads. One human officer stood up. We don't even know if this unity chamber is real. All we have are old records and stories. Jera stepped forward. I saw it with my own eyes. Machines, carvings, messages left for peace, hidden for generations. Tariq joined her, and I saw them too. I'm just a repair worker, not a leader. But the truth doesn't care about rank. The truth only needs someone to speak it. The room grew quiet. After the meeting, many leaders still refused to act. Some were afraid. Some didn't want to believe. But not all. A small group of humans and Valeri, mostly younger officers, scientists, and peace workers came together. They met in a storage room, far from official ears. There, they planned what to do. We can't wait for permission, said a young Valeri named Ina. If Moonbase 7 falls, the Torcan will control the outer gates. Tariq looked at Jira. Then we go. Together. Jira gave a single nod. We will not let fear lead the way. Soon, a small crew prepared a ship, the Ember Light, an old but fast transport ship made for rescue missions. It wasn't made for war, but it could move quickly and carry supplies, medicine, and message beacons. Tariq, Jera, Elder Relima, and 6 others climbed aboard. As they left, Nara 12 stars moved across their window like quiet fireflies. Jera sat beside Tariq in the cockpit. Are you afraid? Yes, he said honestly. But not of the Torcan. I'm afraid people won't believe us. I'm afraid this moment will be lost again. Jera reached over and held his hand. Then we make sure it is not lost. Moonbase 7 was under threat. The Torcan ships had not fired, but they blocked all travel in and out. Supplies couldn't enter, families couldn't leave. Fear was growing inside the base. The Ember Light sent a signal to the base. This is a peace crew from Naratvelv. We bring food, medicine, and records of past alliances. We request safe landing. For a long moment, there was no reply. Then the base responded. Permission granted. But be careful. But Porcan are watching. The ship landed quietly. Soldiers and families welcomed them with tired faces. The crew unloaded supplies, helped repair broken systems, and shared the message from the Unity Chamber. Jera spoke in the base's central hall. You are not alone. This base once helped build peace. You can do it again. She showed the peace badge, the carvings, and a copy of Commander Amin's message. People listened. Some cried. Some smiled. Some were silent, but hope returned. Then the Torcan responded. A voice came from their lead ship, sent across all channels. You are spreading false history. These are lies meant to weaken us. Remove all humans and Valeri who speak them, or we will act. Base leaders were afraid. Some wanted to send Jira and Tariq away to avoid danger. But a young human captain named Farah stepped forward. We stand with them. The truth is not a weapon, it is a light, and I will not turn it off. Others agreed. Tariq, though not a fighter, helped fix defense systems. Jera helped calm the people. Elder Relima met with old Valeri families and reminded them of their roots. And then the Torcan made a move. A small ship from their fleet flew toward the base. No weapons, just a single figure walking toward the gate. The gate opened slowly. A tall Torcan officer stood there. His armor was black and gold, his voice deep. I am Varzan, you dig up dead things. They will bury you. Jera stepped forward calmly. Truth does not die. Varzan narrowed his eyes. Then you will fall with it. Tariq stepped beside her. If we must fall, we will fall together. The Torcan officer said nothing more. He turned and walked away, but his message was clear. Back on Nara 12, news of the stand at Moonbase 7 spread. People began to talk. Some were angry, some were inspired, but one thing was clear. The truth was out. On the base, lights stayed on. Through the night, families held each other close. Workers repaired walls and machines. Leaders stood tall. And in the command room, Jira placed the peace badge on a table beside a map of the stars. We begin again, she whispered. Tariq placed the heartstone beside it. It glowed softly. Together, they looked out into space, knowing the fight was not yet over, but hope had returned, and this time they would not let it be forgotten. The halls of Moonbase 7 were quiet, but the silence was not peaceful. It was the silence before a storm. Every person, human and Valerie, could feel it. Something was coming. The Torcon were still outside the station, waiting like shadows in the dark. Inside the command room, Tariq, Jera, and Elder Relima stood around a glowing map of the space zone. The Torcan ships had now formed a full ring around the base. Escape was impossible. Help from other colonies was days away. Captain Farah, the young human leader, pointed to the edge of the map. They're closing in. If they launch an attack, we won't last long, but they haven't fired yet, Tariq said. They're trying to scare us. Jira nodded. Yes, they want fear to break us before force does. Farah looked at Jera. You have the recordings, the messages, the carvings. Do you think they'll matter now? Jera looked calm but strong. Yes, because truth matters, even in danger, especially in danger. That evening, a message came from Nara 12. The Valeri High Mind Council had finally responded. They agreed to let Jira speak before them to share what she discovered in the Unity Chamber. It was a rare honor, but it came with a warning. If your words are not accepted, the message said, you will lose your voice. In Valeri society you may be removed from your post, even from your homeworld. Jera read the message in silence. Tariq stood beside her. They're giving you a chance, but also a threat. She looked at him. This is how the old peace was broken. Through fear, lies, warnings. I will not let it happen again. Tariq placed a hand on her shoulder. Then I'll go with you. No, she said gently. You must stay here. Help the people on this base. If I fail, someone must carry the truth forward. Tariq shook his head. We started this together. I'm not letting you walk into fire alone. Jira smiled softly. You're not just a repair worker anymore, and you're not just an alien researcher, he said. You're the spark that brought back hope. The next morning, and Tariq boarded a small ship. It was quiet and light, fast enough to reach Nara 12 before the Torcan noticed. Elder Relima stayed on Moonbase 7 to guide the others. As the ship floated into space, stars shined around them like silent watchers. Jera looked out the window. My people will test me, she said. They do not easily accept change. Tariq smiled. Then we remind them, it's not change, it's return. We're just bringing back what was lost. At Nara 12, the council hall stood tall and bright, filled with soft lights and echoing voices. Dozens of Valeri Minds elders, thinkers, leaders sat in curved rows. Jara walked into the center. Her silver robe moved softly as she walked. Tariq walked behind her, calm but alert. One elder, with a high-crowned headband, stood. Jira of Valeria. You bring claims from the past. What proof do you offer? Jira bowed her head slightly. I bring the peace badge, the hearts, and the words of Commander Amendazi left inside the Unity Chamber. She placed the badge and the stone on a glowing table in the center. The stone lit up at once. Then she activated a small screen. Amin's old message played again. If you are hearing this, then the link has been restored. The hall went quiet. Jira spoke next. We were told that humans betrayed us, but they didn't. The Torcan poisoned our friendship, and now they returned to do it again. Another elder asked, and this human beside you, he saw the chamber. Tariq stepped forward. Yes, I did. I'm not a soldier or leader. I fix pipes. But when Jera asked for time, not trade, something changed. I saw truth in her, and then I saw it in that chamber. It's time to open that door again. The hall remained silent. Jira looked at all of them. I do not ask for war. I ask for memory, for alliance, for unity. A long pause followed. Then an elder stood. She was very old, her eyes like fading stars. I was a child when the peace fell. My grandmother spoke of humans with respect. I thought it was only story. And now, I believe again. One by one, others stood. Some remained seated, but enough stood to signal support. Jira had one dot as they left the council hall. The wind from the air vents blew softly through the corridor. Tariq looked at her. You did it. Jira looked tired but peaceful. No, we did it. Just as they were about to return to Moonbase 7, a message came. Torcan forces launched attack on our defense shields. Casualties reported. Moonbase 7 needs help. Tariq and Jira jumped into their ship and flew back without delay. When they arrived, the outer walls of the base were damaged. Smoke floated through parts of the main hall. Robots were repairing broken systems. People moved quickly, helping the wounded, restoring power. Elder Relima met them at the gate. They fired warning shots. No full invasion, but it shook the people. Tariq looked around. Where is Farah? In the defense wing, Relima said. She led the repairs. Jera and Tariq rushed there. In the middle of the defense room, Captain Farah stood, giving orders, her face full of fire, but her left arm was burned and wrapped in cloth. You're hurt, Jera said. It's nothing, Farah said. We stopped the breach. They were testing us. We passed. Tariq helped repair a broken wall beside her. They'll come back stronger. Jera pulled the peace badge from her pocket. Then we meet strength with truth. And fear with unity. Farah nodded. Let's finish what they tried to destroy. Together, humans and Valeri stood in the central dome of Moonbase 7. Families, workers, soldiers, thinkers all, in one place. Tariq stepped up, holding the Heartstone. Jera stood beside him, holding the badge. Long ago we lost something, she said. Today we take it back. The dome lights turned blue. A new banner was raised, a circle of silver, showing a human and Valeri joined in peace. The crowd cheered softly, and far above the stars, even the Torcan could not block the light of what was now reborn. A week passed since the attack on Moon Base 7. The damage was mostly repaired, and no more shots came from the Torcan fleet. But everyone knew they had not given up. They were waiting, watching, planning. Inside the base, though, something had changed. Hope. People now walked with pride. Humans and Valeri worked side by side. The old Unity badge, once forgotten, was now pinned to many uniforms. Children played. Together, engineers shared tools. Elders told stories of the first peace, and at the heart of it all stood Tariq and Zahira. In the garden dome, where glowing flowers swayed under the fake stars, Jera sat on a bench, holding the hot. It still glowed warmly in her hands. Tariq walked in, wiping his hands with a cloth. I fixed the solar line, he said. Should stay powered for 100 cycles now. Jera smiled softly. You fix more than wires, Tariq. He sat beside her. You're the one who changed everything. No, she said. We changed it together. You listened when no one else did. You believed when no one wanted to. Tariq looked around the dome. Do you think it will last? Jira looked up at the ceiling stars. Only if we protect it. Later that day, a signal came from the Torc flagship. It was strong and sharp, sent across all channels. We offer one final chance. Leave the path of false unity, or face destruction. The message ended without further words. Inside the command room, silence filled the air. Captain Farah looked around. They expect fear. They expect us to fall apart. Tariq stood near the window. Then we surprise them. Elder Relima nodded. We respond not with silence, but with strength. The strength of memory. Jera stepped forward. We will speak for all, for peace, for truth, for all who came before. The plan was simple, but powerful. A new signal would be sent across every channel from Moonbase 7, from Narot 12, from every ship and station willing to join. A signal that would carry not weapons, but words, not warnings, but history. And so, preparations began. Tariq helped set up the main transmitter. He checked the wires, cleaned the signal plates, and tested the message beacons. Jera worked with the Valeri team, preparing the final recording. Captain Farah gathered humans from nearby colonies. Elder Relima contacted hidden Valeri supporters. Even some neutral traders joined the cause. They called it the light signal. When the day came, all systems stood ready. In the communication room, Jira stood before the camera. Her silver robe shimmered. The peace badge rested on her chest. Tariq stood behind the console, holding the Heartstone. The signal went live. Jira began to speak. Her voice was calm, clear, and strong. This message is for all. For those who remember and for those who forgot. For those who fear and for those who hope. Long ago, humans and Valeri built something rare, friendship, but lies broke it, and silence buried it. Today we bring it back. She stepped aside. The screen changed. Images from the Unity chamber appeared. Carvings, recordings, machines, the old message from Commander Amin Darzi. People from all corners of space watched. Then the screen showed faces, humans and Valeri standing together on Moonbase 7, working, laughing, helping, and finally, the signal ended with the new banner, a human hand and a Valeri hand touching, forming a glowing ring. The signal lasted only 3 minutes, but it reached millions. At first silence followed, then replies began to come. One colony station blinked its lights in support. One Valeri ship joined orbit near Moonbase 7. Another human commander sent a short message, "We stand with peace." Soon, dozens of small signals arrived. Traders, workers, teachers, explorers, people who had never spoken to each other now stood together with a simple message. "We believe." Tariq sat down, tired but smiling. "It's working." Jira stood at the window. "We lit the fire, now others carry it." But the Torcan were not silent. 3 ships moved closer to Moonbase 7. Weapons glowed red. Shields powered up. The station prepared for the worst. "Evacuation route ready," said Farah. "Shields are at full," said one soldier. But no one ran. Everyone stayed waiting. Then something happened no one expected. One Torcan ship turned away. Then another. The third paused, then powered down its weapons. A signal came short. Simple. "We will not fight those who walk in truth." The screen turned black. Tariq looked at Jera, confused. "Did we win?" She didn't answer. Not with words. She stepped close, took his hand and smiled. "It's not about winning," she said. "It's about returning. To what we lost. To what we almost forgot." They walked together through the dome, through the crowd, through the new banners rising above them. People cheered softly, not loud, not wild, but warm, real. Later that night, Tariq and Jira sat together under the stars. Real stars, not the painted ones on the ceiling. They had taken a small ship out beyond the station, where the sky was open and wide. Jera looked at him. "You once asked me for tea, just to talk." Tariq smiled. "You said yes. That yes changed everything." She nodded. "Would you ask again?" He turned to her. "Jira, will you share tea with me, every day from now on?" She looked into his eyes. "Yes, always." They sat in silence. 2 souls from 2 worlds, one light between them. And that light, born from a simple question, now spread across the stars, never forgotten again.